Lamont. I see you, Lamont. Lamont Datway Jones, raw and uncut.
Yo, what up, my people? I'm not gonna start this video out like I normally do. You know, the majority of my vids is because I got a couple of clips I want to, to share with you guys real quick. Anyway, if you guys are familiar with my channel, you already know how that boy, Lamont Datway Jones, do. You dig what I'm saying? So with no further ado, I want you guys to check out these, little, small, short clips I'm about to show you guys. And, like I said, y'all know how your boy do on this channel. Afterwards, I will come back with my ending comments. You dig? Anyway, my good people, with that being said, welcome to the Lamont Datway Jones Show.
Dr. Fauci, do protests increase the spread of the virus?
Do protests increase the spread of the virus? I think I can make a general statement.
Well, 500,000 protesters on June 6th alone.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, that number of people, does it increase the spread of the virus?
Crowding together, particularly when you're not wearing a mask, contributes to the spread of the virus.
Should we limit the protesting?
I'm not sure what you mean. How do we say limit the protesting?
Should government limit the protesting?
I don't think that's relevant to...
Well, you just said if it increases the spread of the virus. I'm just asking, should we limit it?
Well, I'm not in a position to determine what the government can do in a forceful way.
Well, you make all kinds of recommendations. You make comments on dating, on baseball, on everything you can imagine. I'm just asking you, just said that protests increase the spread. I'm just asking you, should we try to limit the protests?
No, I think I would leave that to people who have more of a position to do that. I can tell you...
Government stopping people from going to church, Dr. Fauci?
Yeah.
Last week in the Calvary Chapel case, 5 liberals on the Supreme Court said it was okay for Nevada to limit church services. Justice Gorsuch said it best. He said there's no world in which the Constitution permits Nevada to favor Caesar's Palace over Calvary Chapel. I'm just asking, is there a world where the Constitution says you can favor one First Amendment liberty, protesting, over another, practicing your faith?
I'm not favoring anybody over anybody. I'm just making a statement that's a broad statement that avoid crowds of any type, no matter where you are, because that leads to the acquisition and transmission. And I don't judge one crowd versus another crowd. When you're in a crowd, particularly if you're not wearing a mask, that induces the spread.
It's a simple question, doctor. Should we limit the protests? Government is obviously limiting people going to church. And look, there's been no violence that I can see at church. I haven't seen people during a church service go out and harm police officers or burn buildings. But we know that, for 63 days, 9 weeks, it's been happening in Portland.
Right. Yeah.
Well, one night in Chicago, 49 officers were injured, but no limit to protests. But boy, you can't go to church on Sunday.
What was the? I don't know how many times I can answer that. I'm not going to opine on limiting anything. I'm just going to tell you.
You've opined on a lot of things, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, but I've never.
This is something that directly impacts the spread of the virus, and I'm asking your position on the protest.
Yeah, I'm not going to opine on limiting anything. I'm telling you what it is, the danger. And you can make your own conclusion about that. You should stay away from crowds.
So you're allowed to protest, millions of people on one day in crowds yelling, screaming, but you try to run your business, you get arrested? And if you stood right outside of that same business and protested, you wouldn't get arrested? You don't see an inconsistency there?
I don't understand what you're asking me as a public health official to opine on who should get arrested or not. That's not my position. You could ask it as much as you want,
you've advocated for certain
businesses.
You've advocated for certain businesses to be shut down. I'm just asking you on your position on the protest. I haven't seen one. We've heard a lot about hair salons. I haven't seen one hairstylist who, between haircuts, goes out and attacks police or sets something on fire. But we've seen all kinds of that stuff during protests, and we know the protests actually increase the spread of the virus. You've said that.
I said crowds. I didn't say specifically. I didn't say protests do anything.
So the protests don't increase the spread of the virus?
I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth.
No, I just want an answer to the question. Do the protests increase the spread of the virus?
I don't have any scientific evidence that anything. I can tell you that crowds are known, particularly when you don't have a mask, to increase the acquisition and transmission, no matter
so
what
you don't
the
have a
crowd
position.
So I want to go through some of the propaganda and disinformation quickly, just as a public service announcement, because America is watching you. And Dr. Fauci, why don't I start with you? Are children almost immune to the disease? Just yes or no, because I've got a lot to get through, please. Are children almost immune to the disease?
We have to
Okay.
be a little bit more precise. You mean almost immune? Do children get infected? Yes, they do.
Have hundreds of thousands of children been infected? Yes. Hundreds of thousands of children been infected. So children are not almost immune to the disease. Is COVID-19 going to magically disappear, Dr. Fauci?
I do not believe it would disappear because it's such a highly transmissible virus. It is unlikely that it's going to disappear.
Does wearing a mask give people COVID-19?
Does wearing a mask give it? No.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge.
All right. Is COVID-19 a hoax?
No.
Should people take hydroxychloroquine as a cure for COVID-19?
The overwhelming cumulative evidence of properly conducted randomized controlled trials indicate no therapeutic efficacy for hydroxychloroquine.
Can people cure themselves of COVID-19 by injecting themselves with disinfectant or bleach? I'm sorry?
No.
Are you safe from the disease if you go to one of the aforementioned large assemblies, crowds, demonstrations, without a mask on and not observing social distancing, if you sign a waiver that you won't sue the sponsor of the event?
I'm not so sure those things are connected, but I'll repeat what I've said multiple times, that being in a crowd, particularly without a mask, is a risk for acquisition and transmission.
Okay, so, but signing a waiver doesn't confer any kind of immunity on you from being infected by the disease?
No, of course not.
All right. Dr. Fauci, the European governments are in a completely different place. They've got the disease on the run. In fact, the Asian countries have the disease on the run. I saw some remarkable figures. Almost every other country on earth is doing far, far better than the United States, except for Brazil, whose president has followed President Trump's policies. But we have 153,000 dead. Canada, our next door neighbor, has less than 9,000. We have 17 times the number of deaths from it. China, which of course is much larger than the United States, has lost 4,661 people. We've lost 153,000 people. Our rate of death is 36 times higher than China, and on and on. Do we have the financial resources and the scientific expertise in America to do what other governments have done to bring the infection rate down to something manageable so the end is in sight of this nightmare?
I believe we do have the tools, and certainly there's been a considerable degree of financial investment.
So what is the difference? Why are all of the other countries defeating the disease and we're not? Why do we not have a plan, a strategy for victory to win, to beat COVID-19?
Well, I believe I addressed that in not only my opening statement, but also in response to the question of the congressman. And that is that when you look at the comparison between Asia and Europe, as is shown by the chairman's poster up there, that when they shut down to the tune of about 95%, getting their baseline down to tens or hundreds of cases per day.
So
whereas when we did it, we got it down, but unfortunately our baseline was 20,000 a day.
All right, so we're getting somewhere, but would you agree with me that the critical difference is either the presence or the absence of social cohesion and political leadership to actually develop a plan, execute it, and stick to it?
I think there was such a diversity of response in this country from different states that we really did not have a unified bringing everything down.
Yes.
The gentleman's time has expired, but Dr. Fauci, if you'd like to add more to his question.
No, I think I just answered the question.
I mean, the end of it was essentially, do we need to stop these disgraceful attacks on public health officials?
The gentleman's time has expired. I now
you. I yield back.
recognize Mr. Kim.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious diseases expert, said we could start talking about real normality again in 2021 with the development and implementation of a COVID-19 vaccine. Fauci's comments came as the number of coronavirus cases in the United States surpassed 4 million. Fauci said in an interview with CNN's David Axelrod Thursday that the companies behind vaccines told them they would have doses to the tunes of tens of millions early in the year and up to hundreds of millions as we get well into 2021. The timetable suggested of getting into 2021 well into the year, then I can think with a successful vaccine, if we could vaccinate the overwhelming majority of the population, we could start talking about real normality again, Fauci said. But it is going to be a gradual process. Now, with that being said, my good people, I just want to say this, okay? Now, don't forget, this dude has been lately, Dr. Fauci, he has most definitely been in the hot seat. Because don't forget, if you are familiar with this ongoing story about this guy, like I am, I mean, there hasn't been anything that I have found in my studies of this guy when it comes to even just things being said about him. There's nothing has been said good of him within the last month. Notice you haven't heard that much from this guy all the way up until now, which is one of the main reasons why I've been trying to tell people about this guy. And I'm still kind of surprised, or should I say shocked, that it took, the American, or should I say it actually took the real American people this long to, pretty much single this guy out and start to question this guy. You dig what I'm saying, my people? Think about what I'm saying now. Now, with that being said, my good people, Fauci made the remarks ahead of next week's launch of an unprecedented effort by the National Institutes of Health to find a vaccine dubbed Operation Warp, that's how you pronounce it, Operation Warp Speed. The operation aims to deliver 300 million doses of a COVID-19 vaccine by January 2021. Dr. Francis Collins, the health director of the National Institutes of Health, told CBS News the launch of a phase 3 trial with Moderna and the NIH is expected on Monday. The aim is to enroll 30,000 people. Yeah, that's right. Wow. News. Yeah, he told CBS News the launch of a phase 3 trial with Moderna and the NIH is expected on Monday. The aim is to enroll 30,000 people. Man. I have never seen anything come together this way as we have tried to do and are now doing for the development of vaccines, and the government, by providing additional resources, has also made it possible now to plan manufacturing of vaccine doses even before you know if the vaccine is going to work, Collins said. Now, I gotta stop right there. Now, you guys heard what that said. Now, I'm going to pronounce this one more time, okay? This guy, now, this guy, whoever this Collins guy is, let me mind you, just said, you know, he said he's never seen anything come together this way, as we have tried to and are now doing for the development of vaccines. And the government, by providing additional resources, also made it possible now to plan manufacturing of the vaccine doses even before you know if the vaccine is going to work. Are you kidding me? So in other words, they're saying that they're going to continue to let all these companies that who we all know, Bill Gates is probably one of the biggest investors in every last one of them. I can almost guarantee it. They're pretty much going to let these people go ahead and produce this vaccination, okay? Without even knowing if this damn vaccine is going to work now, okay? Think about that, people. I mean, you just gotta stop and ask yourself. You have to question that, okay? Especially if you are the type of person who actually, you know, takes their health seriously. I'm just gonna put it that way. You dig, man? Anyway. It says the United States reported more than 68,000 new confirmed coronavirus cases on Thursday, pushing the country past the 4 million mark. President Trump announced later Thursday he is canceling the Jacksonville, Florida portion of the Republican National Convention next month, citing the coronavirus crisis. Okay, now, oh man, now, okay. Now, for those of you who has been continuing to wonder why people like Dr. Fauci has been in the hot seat, I'm gonna tell you. I mean, think about it. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not a huge fan of Donald Trump. Let's get that understood. But it still doesn't change the fact that the guy is still the president of the United States, okay? Even though he is, like I said, he is one of the worst presidents, okay, that we have ever, you know, had, okay? And we all, I think, whoever's listening to this right now would know that. Unless you are a supporter of Trump, then you are most definitely on the wrong channel, okay? Now, anyway, my people, with that being said, the reason I'm saying this about Trump is because if I've never agreed with Trump on anything else, when it comes to his criticism of Dr. Fauci, I cannot do anything but agree with Mr. Trump. I mean, I don't give a damn how you put it. You know, and that lets me know that he's not as stupid as people think he is, because if he was smart enough to single out Fauci and his BS, okay, then hey, I can't, there's no way I'm going to go against faulting him for that. But now everything else, like I said, still doesn't change the fact that we all know that that still doesn't change the fact that he is still one of the worst presidents ever. Okay? Anyway, with that being said, my good people, notice how recently Dr. Fauci has been in the hot seat, okay? That's why the White House has pretty much damn near, might as well say, sidelined him, okay? They pretty much sidelined this guy. In other words, they took him out of the game and it was like, how, okay, Dr. Fauci, okay, we've heard enough. We've got this. Just go over there and sit over there on the bench. Just stay right here, okay? Just sit down and we'll tell you when we decide to, or if we decide to call you back into the game, okay? Which they should have been done. And if you're familiar with my channel, everybody should know, because this is the part that they're not going to tell you on mainstream media. Like I said, if you are familiar with my channel, you should already know that this has a lot to do with Dr. Judy Mikovits. And like I said, if you're familiar with my channel, you know exactly who this lady is, okay? She is the doctor even though some people has tried to debunk her claims, and I wouldn't give a damn what nobody says. Like I say, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, because when it comes to these people who try to debunk her claim, I seriously begs to differ, and I probably would buy it for maybe $1, if that. Okay, you get my drift on this. In other words, I won't buy, period, even if they only wanted $1 damn. You did? Now, my good people, with that being said, notice how, this guy continued to, in my book, and also read in certain tabloids, a lot of people also thought the same thing when it comes to a lot of these answers that he was given in reference to a lot of the questions that he was asked, okay? And you cannot blame. You got some people want to say, Trump, the White House, they just trying to find somebody to blame the failure of the coronavirus on, even though it's part Trump's fault as well. Okay, because like a lot of people have said, and I agree, if he would have just listened and kept the team Obama left in office, he could have tackled this, thing to the point to where it wouldn't even got this where near as worse as it has gotten. Okay, but instead, everybody knows, that he fired one of the best, response teams that was pretty much ever assembled in this generation in time, from my studies anyway, okay? But you can't help but to still give him just not a little credit, because he's actually starting, somebody is going back to him, letting him know. You can best believe that, that a lot of these claims that Fauci and his team has tried to debunk, I mean, think about it. This guy has been exposed by not only Dr. Judy Mikovits, numerous of doctors who has proven a lot of his theories to be wrong. And I don't give a damn how you put it, because if you're going to be the type of person that's still going to sit around and say, well, Dr. Fauci, but he's an health expert and he's been doing this for this long and this long, you idiots. You know why? Think about this. Don't forget, and it's all in the tabloids, don't forget Dr. Fauci has received numerous death threats, okay? This is not what they're going to tell you on mainstream media. Okay? You think that somebody with those type of we'll say that credentials would be getting death threats just for no reason? Anytime someone threatens to take your life, you can best damn believe that they either have some type of disturbing information on you, or they feel like you have pretty much done harm to either them or one of their loved ones by handling this situation so sloppy to the point to where you are starting to get questioned for everything about your expertise when it comes to the coronavirus especially. You gotta stop and ask yourself, why? And I already know why. Like I said, if you're familiar with my channel, I seen it coming a mile away. I'm surprised that they actually took the administration this long to actually realize that this guy, is full of it. Okay, this guy's in cahoots. Everybody knows he's in cahoots with Gates and Big Pharma. I won't give a damn how you put it now. These are just my opinions, and I'm just gonna say allegedly, since everybody, always wants to try to shadow these type of things when the truth starts to come out about these snakes that we've always put our trust in when it comes to our damn livelihood. You understand what I'm saying, my people? Now back to what I was saying. I mean, come on, man. If you are familiar with a lot of this guy's history, especially when it comes to the numerous of doctors that has exposed this guy, okay, you got a lot of these doctors that was banned on YouTube. For what? Okay, if everybody's entitled to their own opinion, why would you ban someone exposing someone? I mean, I pretty much kind of look at that as violation of my Second Amendment rights. I thought, last time I checked, I thought this was a country where you could voice your opinion on whatever type of, situation or topic it may be, or being, or however you want to put it, okay? But I noticed a lot of these doctors, especially Mrs. Judah Mankiewicz, this lady at one point had a gag order on her. Okay, if all of this stuff is just BS and she's supposed to be making it up, okay, why was there a gag order put on this woman to begin with? Because I feel like this, they've already destroyed her life. So what the hell is she gonna gain from telling the real truth about this guy? I mean, she's already been stripped of her wealth, freedom, you name it. So what the hell is she gonna gain? If anything, she should gain some type of respect and recognition for her bravery for exposing these type of people who has continuously blinded the people. When it comes to people, the American people, or the masses, however you want to put it, when they decide to put their trust, when it comes to their livelihood, in these type of people's, hands. Okay? And I don't give a damn. Money is the root of all evil. I guess, a lot of these big pharma companies, they feel like, hey, guess what? A few million people gotta die for us to be able to put this new stuff on the market so we can continue to line our pockets. Because that's what it's all about. Money. I can guarantee it. Even if you're familiar with my channel, you would know this. You dig what I'm saying, my people? I mean, think about what I'm saying. And Dr. Fauci's also in the damn hot seat because they also are not only starting to, get the lowdown on this guy, they're also starting to see, like, damn, okay, since you're supposed to be such a damn health expert, why haven't you gotten these cases down? Instead, it seems like since we put you in charge of this situation, they have been damn skyrocketing, spiking. Instead, it's been vice versa with you. That's why they're starting to question his ability on, dude, are you just blowing smoke up everybody's ass and working for Big Pharma? Or are you really down with the American people to try to stop the spread? We don't want to hear no shit like, you don't know if it'll ever go away. That's not what we're paying you for, Fauci. And that's all he's been continuously coming up with. This type of news. Every time you turn around, looks like it's gonna get worse. I don't know, might be a seasonal thing. If it goes away, it's gonna come back. Now he's saying, he doesn't even know if the shit's ever gonna go away now. Which one is it, Fauci? Then at one point he was saying, it's okay not to wear masks. It's not really mandatory. Now, as long as you keep your distance and all that type of stuff. Now he's saying, it's mandatory to wear a mask. Please, it's best to wear a mask. If you don't, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. But if you realize the last fucking interviews that he did, he didn't have on a damn mask then. When his ass was in the hot seat, when they was questioning his ability to, when it came to the fact whether are you going to be able to control this, Fauci, or not? You dig what I'm saying, my people? And people are starting to realize, dude, are you going to, they're looking at, if you realize some of the questions these people was asking him, They were like, okay, why is it that every other country, including the country where it's supposed to came from, China, is continuously, controlling their numbers and decreasing their numbers? Okay, but damn, when it comes to over here, it's like they're increasing. In other words, they're starting to see like, damn, Fauci, we're the only country that's not. It seems like we're having the hardest time of getting this disease under control. That's why another reason why I noticed the guy asked him, man, Dr. Fauci, is this a hoax or not? Because we're sick and tired. They're pretty much letting him know we're sick and damn tired of you telling us one thing and then turn around and telling us another thing when you know damn well you was gonna tell us the same thing similar to the last thing that you told us about this. Disease or whatever you want to call it, okay? And that's why his ass is in the hot seat. You dig what I'm saying, my people? Yeah. So I don't give a damn what nobody says. They need to continue to set his damn seat on fire until it burns his ass into telling the truth or just stepping down, resigning, man. Unless somebody else come in who's going to be a little more honest and not afraid to go up against Big Pharma. You dig what I'm saying, my people? But anyway, my good people, I've already exceeded my time limit on this, okay? With that being said, my good people, if you feel like you learned anything or gained any type of knowledge from watching this video or happen to like any of the commentary that I do on any of my videos, including this one especially, as well, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You dig? Anyway, my good people, that being said, may the Most High continue to bless you and all your families while y'all doing that paper chase swimming with those sharks, trying to provide for your family during the rat race, especially in these horrific, trying times that we are living in today. You dig, my good people? That being said, my good people, till next time, my good people, stay tuned. Until next time, peace. Peace out.